Nonz, the biggest update. Uncle Stormy. Hey, Gabaya. Uncle Stormy. I heard your mother said that I need to come over to give you a lesson, little one. You know what they say. You can't be a pirate if you can't rock the boat. All jokes aside, little one, I came here to tell you I suffer from something that you shouldn't do every day. I'm gonna show you this thing called fit. And like literally, this is something I do on a daily basis, just like I encourage you not to do. And as you know, I'm known for using this technique. But the fair racer told me I was gonna face something that I do every day and a monster. Now, goodbye. The only reason why I'm here, I'm not doing this right now, is because two reasons. One, like bad me. Three, you see, goodbye, Uncle Stommy kind of slips sometimes because he didn't go to school. Uncle Stommy, I get it. But seriously, goodbye, I heard that I need to help you in this certain situation because you're up against something that's my specialty. No, that's seriously though. But in all reality, that's how Uncle Tommy talks in real life. That shit is so fucking funny. I can't give you his haymakers for this fucking video. I can't. But that's the whole reason why I have to say Mama Chi-Chi, why we all have to be street smart, why we all have to be understanding, why we all have to like really be on that. Because literally, Uncle Tommy was there, baby. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. This is a time where we have to analyze the situation in order to be overwhelmed. And we have to say this. Well, literally, Uncle Tommy would always be informative, but he'd always be elaborate, but he would always be crazy. You see, what really crazy was Uncle David was the one we all respected and always treated people right we treated. Uncle Sonny always talked shit to people, but made up for it for being really funny. He makes fun of everybody in the fucking family, but he's a shoulder boy and stuff like that, but he pretends he's the boss 24/7. That shit is hella funny. Like Tommy, he's like, Sonny, do not bring up something from the past when I'm just trying to get my hot dog. And Uncle Tommy was the third one that was close by, but always relatable. But to a certain extent, he was the one that made the most mistakes. So when he comes over, like she can use, like that freaking dope reverse psychology. This is what he used to be. This is why he comes over. This that we're trying to encourage him to not be in his position, stuff like that. But like other things pan out in life. You realize some stuff happens. Unnecessary stuff happens, and some people get into unnecessary business. And but fucking that's not my business. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to teach you guys like to be on your success, like to be about you 100%. I'm not telling you to get girls, I'm not telling you to do that, but what girls like is ambition. And what ambition is recognizing that you want something and doing about it. That's ambition. And girls love that. When you want something, like say if you like cartoons, you do comic books, girls love that. And they say if you like Naruto, but you play Naruto video games, girls love that. But they like it when you go all out. When you do shit like play the shit you way in Storm, that turns girls off 100%. Because you're already playing a game that's in your comfort zone and you resort to cheating. But look, that's for later off. That's the whole, that's your cringe announcement. Okay, so let's move on. This is all about the Invader Fibs non-special and like literally why I have to do this special. So the whole point of Invader Fib. So what's the story of Invader Fib? Do you know that one episode from Teen Titans with Slade? So Blade is coming, and there's gonna be two versions of Blade, and Nonz. There's gonna be one that looks like a Spartan that has a half red and half, half black mask, half gold and half red mask. Like a Spartan, half red and half gold mask, and there's gonna be the Axo Blade that has a half blue and half, black mask, and that's gonna be actually crazy. So what's gonna happen? That one time when Robin's hallucinating and Slade's beating the fuck out of him, imagine fusing the time when Slade beat the fuck out of Robin with the one VeggieTale style, that's the one VeggieTale movie that scared the fuck out of us when we were a child. Literally, Invader Fib. We're fusing these two together for a Nonz movie. I'm like, oh my god. So what I'm going to do is this is my life challenge right here. I used to really be crazy, but what's the best part about this is that this showed me a lot of perspective in life. So I'm going to repeat this just to let you know it's good to repeat things because it gets you in your memory when I say you're taking information. So I said this in a previous video, but I'm going to say it with this video with proper editing because it's a dark theme and I dark really to bring out because the way I edited it, why would you dark theme, and that's called reverse psychology. So I want to let you know I did that because it was easy, but also because you listen to it anyway. And I don't want you using that technique. You like literally people take positions like me and they end up losing it doing concepts like that. So you don't want to cheat once you get in. What you want to do is that's the reason why I can only see 300, but I have so much feedback in society because they don't want me to get cocky. That's because a lot of people get in my position and do a whole lot of other shit. Like it's crazy, but The only reason why is because Invader fear was my biggest fear in childhood. So my science teacher knew it was crazy. So what happened was, I had a neighbor that was my next door neighbor who I showed, dread details. At first it was junior asparagus, and so like I showed my next door neighbor like God is boogie. I mean God is bigger than Boogie Man, like literally freaking. So like he was literally me and him. But what happened was I got along with him so much. We watched multiple dread details. Literally he watched his own. Like literally he was my best friend. He was white, but he acted like a nigga. He looked just like Jeremy Belcroft, but like literally it was crazy. I think his name was Anthony, but he was literally my next door neighbor, like literally right next door. And like we were talking about Veggie Channels 24/7. That's what little kids. So what happened was literally freaking Anthony gave me a Christmas card, but then he left, and I realized I don't know if he's still here, but dang, that guy was cool. And literally, it's like imagine Arturo, but like literally you and him are little kids, and so he has no right to be judgmental. And like he's as black as him, but when you get older, he's like, damn, he watched that Veggie Channels special that I didn't even watch. That means he's ambitious. That means he's blacker than me at that moment. He's really, really crazy. Like what he did was he watched the world, and I watched all the good ones. So what happened was one day I went to Anthony's house because I couldn't watch Finn, and so they made the plant one. When the lady turns in the plant, they made that specifically for us because that movie was way too scary. And God got in my head, you see how this is a little bit more reasonable? And then he left. I'm like, what? I'm like, literally, I'm like, you see that voice in your head? The devil's gonna try to say you're crazy when he specifically put you in a situation and say that. He showed you something scary, you ran away, but then he gave you something more suitable. The one thing that's more suitable is me talking to you. This is how easy I'm gonna make it for you, and this is how easy he's gonna make it for you. But I'm gonna make it easy in bits and pieces. Do you get it? I'm gonna make it easy because you know you can't handle that situation. What if somebody told you literally to face something like that but doesn't look like that, but has the same thing like that but looks like you? But when you open your voice, you see him. Because what gang members do is they lie their way out of problems, and they don't know what's the problem or a lie. What a lie does is like literally, not only do you have to back it up, it's an extra responsibility. So if somebody's responsible by default, especially if you know how something works, what they do is they do entry shit. So if you actually have a job and you take your life seriously, they can't fuck with you. But if you fuck around the street just like them, oh, best believe there could be some out there, but like literally. That's how I affected gang members, because gang members work out life. So what you gotta do is you gotta you gotta tell the truth, but you also gotta what they do is they put the situation where you gotta be 10 times stronger. A gang member can't negotiate with a grown ass man, because how the fuck you gotta negotiate with Chumley's dad? He's like, you wanna do blocks and sticks? You know what's gonna happen next, even if you do succeed, because I made sure that I did your shit and I learned from your shit all the way until I got here, so you wouldn't even get close to my son. I put my son in the public just to fuck with you. You don't think I have extra fucking gang members that really put around, and that's the scariest thing in part of life. You think that they're doing nothing? They treat you like humans are fucking simpletons, but they make above human fucking military schemes and try to trap people. While I get you that, what you're forgetting is that you're putting a whole bunch of emphasis on something little. So what you're doing is literally, you're doing an advanced strategy that only works on little kids, and you're pretending you're a grown ass man. That's why you excel at teenagers. What if every single teenager that you fucked with came at you, literally? Because you pick and choose who you want to fight, so you look good in public. And literally, what you're gonna do is you're gonna be that type of person where you back to the corner, he's gonna face it head on. And what gang members do is they run on pride. So if you actually call them out, they're not gonna do it, because what they're gonna do is literally they gotta make every excuse in the book saying you're not child, say this, that, because they beat you or the punch down. But what they know is they're being protected, so they specific. But you have a specific trait about me, like, look, this little nigga is fucking short, but he has green eyes, he's stalking, fucking literally, fucking if I face him, I know I'm gonna have to go all out, so I wanna make it a landslide. Oh, fucking, they all have that idea. But once you keep your distance, guess what? You tried to be a bird so much you forgot about the one in the sky that actually gets you what you really want, a kid. And everything you're doing running from a lie, stuff like that, is not the way you raise a kid. And then you end up stealing one because you don't know how to be an actual real parent. And that's all around you. Imagine them doing all that scary ass shit just to realize you're trying to be like your dad. You're trying to be like your dad. And then your dad starts saying fucking his levels. Oh, you want me to touch a little kid, get ready for Why? Do you want me? Or maybe I can roast you as your precious style. Do you know what I did with your style when I realized that it didn't work for me and that it only gave me girls that didn't like me for who I was? I threw in her toilet. And what I did was I created you, and I created you to keep me safe from her. Do you get it? Because I would do everything for her. And what you think I'm doing to keep my ego, I'm doing for her. Oh, I'm such a Debbie. Hey, Dad, why are you there? Because I'm forcing you to put two and two together. Your mom's not letting me see you. And then these people who have the same concept, who's in the same situation and shit, don't even comprehend that, but want to use a fucking bullet and shit. What you're forgetting is that really, you're using something that ends life, and I'm somebody who's lived life a whole bunch of times over and over again to where my friends are practically dead. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is a very informative video. Because what they do is fib, and they fib to a point they can't control. Imagine a gangster. A gangster uses a fib as a Pokemon, and like he pulls it out and then gets it, puts it back in where he wants to. What happens when the fib becomes too big? It eats them. And guess what? Since it was their lie and their responsibility, and you aren't a part of it, it's all alone. So guess what? He's gonna eat you, he's gonna eat you, you're gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're gonna think there's gonna be a life afterwards, but no. What's gonna turn into a marble, you're gonna really shrink down to a ball, and that ball is gonna turn into a marble, and that marble is gonna disintegrate. That's what happens when you lie and you stay with it and you don't do shit about it. That's what happens when you lie and you don't seek help. That's what happens when you lie and do this and this and that. You think you're gonna have a chance back because, like, the truth is specifically made for you to lie. You get it? It shows you what happens when you lie, but it's gonna let you lie, but it's gonna show you what happens. You're accepting good shit from shitty people, but you're not feeling good. But you're pretending to feel good because you know I'd rather be in my family's house. They can only fool people who are influenced by mass media. Imagine this CPU. So what we thought was a gangster was really crazy. It's really, really scary, but they can't face somebody who stays in the computer all day because they surround themselves with the same shit, and the internet lets you look up everything. So what they think they're fucking with is this little ass kid watching fucking cartoons, and somebody's looking up about the world 24/7. It's like that, and those worlds full of fucking shit. It's just they don't know fucking complexity because they try to do the same shit, and that's the scariest fucking part. Is because they don't know better. You're dealing with a constant baby that you know you can end at any moment, but you can help because you know what fucking real life is. You know how to move on. You're trying to tell them the truth about real life and how they discard it every day to keep their ego. But guess what? I realized I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm letting you know. Well, if you're already there, why are you fucking with me? Because I know you're not content, and that's a contradiction of a gangster. And you have to, like, that's the scariest fucking part. But he'll be content if everything fucking goes his way. That's what makes him ill. Like, you appreciate being a piece of shit because you know it gives you things. I don't have to work for this. I don't have to work for that. But literally, then you suffer from it. You know what that's gonna happen? Somebody's gonna take that concept and he's gonna belittle you with skill, and that's gonna be that. You think fib is scary? Once you figured out how your dad had to protect your mom for so many fucking people, you really see how scary shit is. Believe they think I'm scary. I know so many fucking grown men. I'm following after people who are fucking 50. So what I do is I talk to grown men who are over 50 over the internet who own businesses and shit, and we just talk about casual stuff. And like they live just like me. Like, hey, I have a son too. Guess what? He lives in the country. You probably have a son you can't see, right? I'm a bachelor. I'm talking to you in the webcam. I can't. I'm like, yeah, I deal with that shit too. Hey, you like to draw? Oh, on this chalkboard? Yeah, this is my little plan to take over the world. I mean our world, I mean our room. It's hella funny. This is 50 fucking, no, these are conversations I have with people over fucking 50 and shit like that. So it really, what it is this. And so really, they tell you like the truth about that, and they don't seem scary at all. So what happens is literally, that girl, that plant came along to let you know that literally, if you stay for fib, you're dumb. But if you stay and look at me and get what fib's trying to do, you win. Because it's a movie that came right afterwards. If you think that's not a coincidence, did God do that because he realized that I was in pain and he did something about it? And that plant is like, you know, yes, I gave you something I couldn't handle for you to run because he's gonna use that against your advantage. He's gonna make you run, and he's gonna give you a reason to stay. And I got to see that experience with a friend. It was over. And then literally what Justin did was he brought the Invader fib to science class literally one day, and literally freaking that same teacher, that teacher was so good. This Asian teacher, he put a chameleon and a mouse in a jar. No, it was a chameleon and a rodent, and he made them fight each other. Like, hey, Aris, you want to see them fight each other? It was hella funny. No, this is that, but that guy has so much game. This guy will suck. He's like, you don't know where Asian guy spits game to somebody like you. He's telling this. What he did was literally talk to the fucking egg person. He's like, Aris, you see all these girls? I'm gonna do something. Hey, Aris, you like Veggie Tales? And so what happens is I'm like, no. I'm like, but what? Veggie Tales is your favorite thing, and I showed. And literally, it said that, and he used the roulette card. He's like, this is how people are gonna get if you're older. And then he's like, you see all these girls there? He didn't say it, but the only thing he said was Veggie Tales. But then he said some shit like that I was watching fucking Dragon Ball Z shit. Hey man, chameleon fight a rodent in a cage and made me watch it. And then he made me watch it very fast. He would always fuck with me. You know those little lizards that turn hella big when you put them in the water over time? It was literally, it's like, you know, we've been keeping up for months, and literally he made sure that I was literally, there was 3 rows, and I was like the second or third row. I think I might have been first, but fucking like, or first in like a stupid fucking position of musical chairs and shit. So like literally fucking, you know how they let the fucking, the little lizards soak it, turns hella big over time? And so he was hella funny. He's like, it's the time, guys. He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, he's like, Aaron, so you like, you're scared. So if you put 2 and 2 together, overall what he's trying to say is, I specifically called you a pussy because that's all you're gonna get in the future. And literally, that's what that Asian guy said right there. He's like, you see how you're scared of all this? You said I did this and that for you. I want you to take that to consideration. That means when they try to treat you like this guy, this whatever. You see these girls, you're gonna fuck all of them. And he said that right then and there. I recently watched Fib, and it wasn't nothing because like literally I was a grown ass man. I had to do a lot of shit. But I'm like, you know what? I look at him in a different light now because the way he acts versus the way I saw him as a child, I'm actually able to see his charisma now versus me being scared of him. So like literally when you say fancy man, really scary. Yeah, I can do his voice. So let's get to the Gabaya part of this. So like literally Gabaya has to face his biggest fear head on. So this is Gabaya's like literally biggest enemy. What's gonna happen is Fib is gonna have powers and he's gonna have red eyes. So it's gonna be really crazy. I think he might have black eyes. Who knows? Funny. But like it's crazy as heck because what's gonna happen is he's not gonna be the only antagonist. He's gonna be like a big distraction. A bunch of so Saddam Hussein, the guy who faced off Sid, literally, what he's gonna do is he's gonna summon Saddam Hussein, but then there's gonna be an alien force from outer space, and it's not gonna just take his lie to be him. So what Fiz's power is like literally he doesn't play off your lie. What he does is he gives you what you expect. Like you see me in the middle, you see me controlling all this. This is a action anime. He's like he lets you know that through a dialogue. He doesn't give a fuck about you. I'm gonna rampage. I'm gonna do my role. I'm gonna wait for you to beat me and get out. Do you know why? Because later on I get that's the actual objective of Fib. You let me get big, so I'm gonna take advantage of it. And literally, I know I only gotta have a limited time. So he plays the Fib like literally role. So what he is this that's a big version of fucking Fib. Where fucking he can shoot key blasts out of his hands and shit. So he can break down figures, what he is, he's an average monster for Dragon Ball Z, but he's hella fucking stronger than Nonz universe. You know how fucking you can slice the monster in DBZ. Imagine a monster in DBZ who you are have to use your quirk on, who's hella slow, and you like he's hella strong, but he can't do shit because he's dumb. But Fib is dumb in this movie. He's dumb, but he's really scary. And my whole goal is, I saw him today, and so I'm like, my goal for this Nonz movie is I'm gonna make it as scary as Fib, but as PG as it possibly could be, like for suitable eyes. I'm gonna make sure that Fib is literally, my goal for this Nonz movie is to do the exact opposite of why it had to be taken off, is because Fib in this movie will be watchable, but just as scary. What I mean is, I'm gonna give him a scary aspect, but I'm gonna make it PG. It's like literally. So what's gonna happen is Gabaya's really gonna be scared. His pupils are gonna be dilated. He's hanging on to Fib's arm and stuff like that. He's just looking up. This is the very first time because there are chimeras and Nonz. There are mutates and Nonz that they can be. There could be like giant dolphins and shit that pop out and shit like that. Literally, they're all based off your quirk and shit, based off your flying style and element. They are summoning monsters, and some of them are mythical too. Like literally Nonz has a whole lot of shit, but at the same time, this is different. This is something that doesn't have a conscience, but somehow figures out your plan. Do you know why? Because he recognizes that it's a distraction. So what happens is whenever they land a hit on them, Fib just looks at them. He was like, what? Weird plan strategy. And so what Fib is trying to do is he's trying to say, like, literally throughout the whole movie, like, less is more. It's like, you understand that somebody summoned me. Like, so what Fib is he's an unconscious, guy who's evil, but you're forced to scare him. But what he is you think I'm scary? Look at this. So what Fib does, this non-special is gonna be, our reference to Lil Uzi Vert. So what happens is Saddam Hussein doesn't just summon Fib. Those little aliens from, the slot machine in Toy Story. He's gonna summon them from the fucking sky, and they're gonna rain, and Fib can't do anything. And so guess what happens? They know that Fib's distracted. So Sid is really cocky, but he's not as good as Beretta, but he's more powerful because he's rebellious, and that's the whole meaning of Saddam Hussein. So Saddam Hussein, Beretta all come for the Saddam family. The Saddam family. So what Uncle Stami is gonna do, Stami is gonna he's gonna give directions, but he's gonna hide. But he's gonna literally hide and tell you literally how things, you see, I know how a lie works and stuff like that. So what he's trying to tell you is, it's not the lie, it's the fact that I realize that you already figured out the lie. So I'm gonna use force, but I'm gonna use fake force. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have something hella big that you gotta think about, but I have a big plan in mind. But guess what? There are multiple you or me, and I'm doing this because of you. So goodbye, I'm telling you, the main focus is you, but he's taking advantage of the fact that you have to rely on other people. So he's giving something that multiple people have to fight, but something that can surprise us very racist. So guess what? After Lily, they beat Fib, guess what happens? Do you know that one, special in Megas XLR, well, Goop just wants a fucking slushy. That monster's gonna fucking pop out, and his deep fucking voice is like, they're gonna beat him. It's gonna be the scariest fucking shit ever. But guess what? They're not gonna be as scared as him. You know how you're scared than like him? How could this monster literally come back so easily and shit like that? Oh, but no, but literally fucking, I need to watch that episode. The episode's so fucking right. Okay, anyway, fucking way. this monster is gonna come out of nowhere, like literally water in the fucking substance. So everybody's confirmed, Kimigawa, everybody is confirmed as Lily, but they don't have a constant. So this is a miscellaneous Nonz movie. So Kimigawa, LMAO, you know, all of them, you know, freaking Kama, Sortier, because it's a city threat and Fib is fucking up the city, but they have to figure out how we're gonna deal with the threat. So Lil Uzi Vert comes out eventually to try to help defeat Fib and the aliens, like where shit gets really, really hefty. So Lil Uzi Vert is gonna star in this Nonz movie, like, but he's a Star Warrior and stuff like that. So like, Lily, this is gonna be more. So Fib's gonna be one of my favorite projects. It's gonna be, you know, Lily, the same quality of Ants, but you know, my opinion, you know, it's going to have a really, 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 you know, darker theme. Even though Lily, it's based off Lily two things. So when Slade comes into play, is Blade, like Lily, Blade plays off their strategy, and so he starts to fight in outer fucking space and shit. So the outer space fight Lily falls down. So you got Fib fucking up the city, but there's something's gonna fall down. Literally, fucking, there's gonna be a fucking shower of fucking aliens for the fucking slot machine. There's gonna be Lil Uzi Vert Lily trying to literally either reason with them or fight them and shit. Lily fucking Better's still there, you know, Ronde's still there, all of them are still there. I think I might include Madison. Yeah, Madison's included. He might fight Blade, because this is a dark Nonz movie. This is supposed to be the scariest aspects of children's cartoons all put in one movie. No Curse of Cali Dog. There will be Curse of Cali Dog aspects in Nonz. Like, Cats is definitely gonna be a character. If you want Cats to be a character, he's gonna be ran by Sean. So Cats is like, if you, I have no idea what Sean plans for him, but like, yeah. If this is gonna be Curse of Cali Dog, Cats only. But what if I told you this one also had Jume and Skittles? The whole theme of this is Fib is fighting a whole bunch of teenagers that literally act like little kitties. So like literally, the whole point of it is that even though we're teenagers, we're still little kitties inside of literally, it's a childish theme for a serious situation. That is literally Nonz, the Invader theme special, like literally, and like literally, it's so crazy. So like literally, what happens is literally fucking, they're not scared of this little monster who's really, really scarier and has a stronger ability because they're so used to Fib. And so guess what? Later on, I have something planned, like little Uncle Stami and like literally goodbye, like literally shake hands after the movie, and like literally. So what I'm telling you, right, it was a distraction. Once you realize what the distraction was, we were already on it. I had to figure out what his weakness was, so you even had a chance. You get what I'm saying? So we had distraction on top of the distraction, and then kind of thinking them to the rest. But in all actuality, since I know what Fib's all about, and since I'm actually am more mature, I'm gonna make Fib a detective user in Nonz. So after he gets defeated in the movie, he'll be candid like a piece of water. So Mr. Entry, you know him, he's gonna make a detective agency. So if you have a detective user you want to make in Nonz, like if you want a not eye from My Hero Academia class, you gotta do an audition, you gotta ask Sean, you gotta come with her. So there are detective users in Nonz, and one of them is Secret Squirrel. Her name isn't really secret, but fucking I call it secret for now. Oh, don't shit. Impeach confirmed. What happens is once you get to know him, once you get it and symbolize it, you're not scared of him anymore. I'm like, what if I actually got to know him? So I imagine Fib normal size. Like imagine Fib being fat but being like literally the size of your favorite uncle, but wearing a detective suit, smoking a cigarette. It really fucking is. So imagine one day fucking like literally. So after they make up, after Goodbye becomes a grown ass man, because what happens in Nonz too is Goodbye has a personal life. He starts going to nightclubs. He starts going to nights and bar clubs. And he has a running gag at the beginning that's really, really self-explanatory for why the arc is kind of long but not really long. What happens is they have to build up shit, so they have to see where each and every member is at after the time skip. So what we see is the protagonist's first thing, literally going to bars where his dude, you know, the dude time skip, he's making friends, he's making fights, he's making girls, doing everything that we do in Nonz literally on his own. Literally, that's how Nonz Times 2 starts. It's Goodbye wandering from city to city, making friend to friend, and all of a sudden he reads in a newspaper, an emergency happened, and that's how the first arc starts. So in one arc, what Fib does is this is Nonz Times 2 Goodbye, and so I'm like, Fib, it's been a while, man. He's like, I know, right? You used to be scary. Do you know the reason why I scared you? Is because I was scared of losing you. I would lose myself before you. Do you know why? I got myself big, specifically for you to blow me up. It literally is crazy as fuck. And what happened was this, and so literally what happens is Uncle Stabby's still around, you know, stuff like that, but like literally he's lurking and stuff like that. It's a different world now, so literally, and then all of a sudden Stabby passed by both of them. Literally, you really just about to pass up Goodbye and stuff like that. It just feels like Stabby. It's like, Fib, it's been. That's gonna be a scene, and I'm just letting you know, this is why this is Fib represents my development as a man, and also literally why I have to view him as a detective is because he gave me a lot to think about throughout my life and so that. So I'm imagining this guy I used to be scared of now wearing a suit, literally smoking a cigarette, being casual like everybody else, and that's really, really, really how you come from a boy to a man's life. Not only do you recognize you're wrong, you're recognized why people aren't perfect and you forgive them, but if people are consistent and they keep on really manipulating you, you keep on doing bad behavior, you must not trust them. Like if your you're forced to work with them, like literally under victim, like literally under literally circumstances, like literally if you have to like literally deal with them temporarily, because understand that's all it's gonna be. Like literally, this is boo crazy, and just remember, literally, this is a childish thing for a serious dog movie. So skills can be confirmed because this is everything childish about Nonz fighting Finn. Keto!